Right now on News 8 at 6, more than money. Why a local school superintendent says it's going to take more than just a bigger check to help solve Illinois' education funding crisis.
Plus, creating their own jobs, how Dixon, Illinois is battling unemployment in their community without getting help from the state.
Live from WQAD, News 8 at 6 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Denise Hanitka.
And I'm Jim Mertens. Thanks for joining us tonight. For Illinois Governor Bruce Rauner, it's almost a lesson in show and tell. The governor is traveling around the state to show his support for local schools and to tell people who he believes is the cause of the budget mess. That show and tell tour came to East Moline today. The governor visited Glenview Middle School, vowing to make education a top priority. School district like East Moline's face millions of dollars in cuts. Governor Rauner says the first step to fixing schools is increasing overall state funding, but school administrators say fixing the education funding formula needs to happen as well.
Even if they have the money to fully fund all schools, the disparity between the haves and the have-nots continues to grow in the state of Illinois. The formula is broken. It must be fixed.
Shortly after the governor came to East Moline superintendent headed to Springfield. There, he says he will meet other superintendents to show support for a bill that will change the funding formula to focus on need rather than property taxes.
Davenport police say a 17-year-old girl is in critical condition after she was shot last night. It happened around 9:30 last night near the intersection of Clark and Central Park. Someone called police saying they saw the victim lying in the street. No arrests have been made.
A Muscatine man has pleaded guilty to reduced charges where his victim died 22 years after the attack. 51-year-old Hiram Serrano was convicted of attempted murder after attacking Teresa Jackson, which left her a quadriplegic. It happened in 1990 and Jackson died in 2012. A medical examiner ruled she died because of complications from the original attack. Serrano was initially charged with murder. He pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter and burglary. The plea agreement calls for him to serve 20 years. He'll be sentenced next month. 2 Central Iowa inmates are still missing after making a weekend escape. Michael Amadeo and Jesse Foley were nowhere to be found Saturday night during a routine check in Newton. The two are now the second and third inmates, I should say, to escape from the facility in just 1 month. The first inmate was quickly recaptured. The Department of Corrections says it can't say for sure whether the latest escapees pose a threat to the public.
The Scott County Sheriff's Department says a plan to build a new facility will improve response times to rural areas. News 8's Lauren Simone shows us the plans.
Driving past Scott County Sheriff Department patrol headquarters in Davenport, it looks like a perfect location. But this building was supposed to be a temporary home for the department when it moved there more than 20 years ago.
It's been time for an upgrade for quite a while. It's grown too small for our needs. It's not laid out efficiently for daily operations, and those are the 2 main concerns.
The Scott County Board of Supervisors has approved a plan to build a new facility near Eldridge off Blackhawk Trail Road. But this move is more than an upgrade. It's also a move police believe will reduce their response time in more rural areas.
Before, when we moved to our present location, we were kind of at the outskirts of Davenport. Now we want to be truly outside of the city of Davenport and in the area that our primary emphasis is at.
This project is expected to cost more than $5 million, an amount the county raised over the past 2 years, and a price the sheriff says will make sure the department has everything it needs.
We're adding new functions to our patrol. We're going to do our evidence processing and storage at the new facility. So all of those things add up to meet our space needs.
Construction is set to begin this spring, and although the department has an idea of what they want the facility to look like, they are still looking for a construction company to build it. In Eldridge, Lauren Simone, WQAD News 8.
The Scott County Board of Supervisors is expected to review bids for construction at the end of the month. Winter weather caused 2 jets to slip and slide in Chicago today. The first plane was a corporate jet sliding off a runway after landing. Then a few minutes later, an American Airlines jet slid on a taxiway but safely made its way back to the gate.
Kind of shows you that all you need is a little bit of snow. just to make it slippery on those pavements.
That's right. That's always the challenge. That was certainly the case early this morning right along the Wisconsin-Illinois border earlier on. Otherwise, the rest of our hometowns were saw some pretty decent travel conditions early this morning.
See a nice sunset right now.
We're going to see that, yeah. A lot of clouds are out today, but nice breaks we expect to see. And, yeah, it will be a clear night out there as we go through the overnight hours. And those winds, which are still rather brisk, will ease up tonight as well. Currently in the Quad Cities, 28 degrees, seeing a lot of temperatures actually just below the freezing mark. And we should start off today rather sunny come our Wednesday, but then waiting in the wings, our next weather system right around the Pacific Northwest, and that will be making a beeline across the Tuesday heading into tomorrow night. And that will bring us our next chance for some snow for pretty much most of our hometowns. We'll tell you what type of snowfall potential we're looking at coming up in just a few minutes. Jim?
More than $180,000 for a new job creation program at Sauk Valley Community College is now frozen because of the Illinois budget stalemate.
News 8's John David reports on how the program's moving forward without that money.
Michael Willard represents the future in Dixon, Illinois.
I think it's really important to create new jobs.
And this is going to be hugely successful.
This high school senior already studies business. On Tuesday, he's learning about creating jobs in his neighborhood.
Well, I think it's huge to have a small business center here.
We talked about the Bill of Rights, very important to this and other classes.
These Sauk Valley Community College students know about hard times. They grew up as hundreds of jobs vanished from their towns. Now they can help to reinvent the region.
There was no place for people to go that wanted to start a small business.
We're operating this on the faith of the people that first got together.
That's why local leaders unveil the Center for Small Business Development. It will offer support to boost a quality workforce.
One of the things that needs to be done is develop a culture around small business and entrepreneurship.
This center is a way to connect this campus with the community. The goal to spark ideas that will create new jobs. These students won't have to wait for the Illinois budget. Their communities are stepping up to start the center.
It's community driven. Communities are putting the money into it to make it happen.
For this future engineer, a chance to design success for the Sauk Valley.
It really starts here in the small communities.
Communities that are moving ahead before state support.
We're in this together. Thank you very much.
In Dixon, Illinois, John David, WQAD News 8.
Thank you, John. The center will expand once that grant money arrives.
Still ahead on News 8 at 6, training for their shot.
I'm willing to fight for you, for your freedom. And you're going to say, no, you can't do it, don't do that. No, I'll prove you wrong.
The two female soldiers training to be some of the first to take on combat roles.
You are watching WQAD News 8 at 6 with Jim Mertens and Denise Anitka.